Recommendation of scheme of service remuneration of ECDE teachers in Nandi County and other related issues.
Yes, Honorable Vice Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I beg to give the response and the report on Education Committee regarding the said petition of scheme of service. Honorable Speaker, the committee is grateful to the House through the Speaker for the support granted in executing its mandate. The committee is also grateful to the Office of the Clerk and the staff for facilitating and providing technical support for the committee in processing the petition and eventually producing this report. The committee attributes the success to the cooperation and proper coordination between the various offices in the County Assembly. We thank the members of the public and the petitioners for the confidence bestowed upon the membership of this committee and the whole House. Hereby, on behalf of the chairman, that is Honorable Edwin Kiprop, Mr. Speaker, the members of the committee affirm their signatures upon this report. That is Honorable Chair, that is Edwin Kiprop. Vice Chair, that's me, Davis Sangutei, Eliud Kirongo, Lydia Chepto, Pamela Makut, Isaac Mosbey, Honorable Edwin Gorir, Honorable Stancy Chepkemoy, and Honorable Ezra Rotich. The scheme of service provides that each teacher was to be graded as per the established grading system made up of 6 grades of ECD teachers in each of the educational level. Each teacher, as per the scheme of service, ought to be placed in the particular job group subject to promotion and demotion. Honorable Speaker, that instead of implementing the scheme of service, the county government of Nandi decried the lack of enough resources in the year 2022-2023. Consequently, the county government formed a task force to look into the implementation of the scheme of service and provide recommendation and guide the recruitment and career progression of the primary ECD teachers. That the task force, with the involvement of a few individuals, purported to represent teachers, and in its report recommended that 1. The county government in the financial year 22-23 does not have sufficient funds and additional resources to implement the scheme of service. 2. There shall be a progressive salary increment for primary teachers from January 2022 to June 2026. 3. The ECT teachers were at the time below 50 years were removed from contract basis to permanent terms, while those who were at age 51 to 55 years of age were retained on the contract terms, whereas those are at age of 56 and above were placed on appropriate job groups as by the relevant laws, policies, and regulations in the Human Resource Management Manual. The county government undertook an implementation of the task force report immediately without public participation, contrary to Article 10 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. The County Public Service Board changed the terms of employment in the following manner. A. The transition from contract to permanent terms saw the teachers being issued with letters without indicating the terms of service and or description of job group as per the scheme of service. Honorable Speaker, the petitioners have held several meetings to engage the county leadership led by the county government, the CCM in charge of education and vocational training office of the county secretary, but the meeting have borne no fruits. That on 29 June 2023, 4th April 2024, and 12 July 2024, the representative of the petitioners wrote letters to the county government highlighting their grievances, and the same served to the relevant officers, but no action was taken by the time this petition was crafted. That the petitioners noted that other county governments in the Republic of Kenya have implemented their scheme of service in full, where ECD teachers in Turkana, Trans Nzoia, Kakamega, Kericho, Nakuru have regularized job groups for their ECD teachers, as outlined by the scheme of service developed by Council of Governors, and the teachers are being paid as per their job groups and not under the irregular special salary scheme. Honorable Speaker, the petitioners have that it is not true as per the task force report that money was not available or that there were insufficient funds in the year in the education as per the CCM education and secretary and county government secretary, Nandi County secretary never submitted the request to the county assembly requesting for budgetary allocation for the financial year 24-25 towards either the implementation of the scheme of service and the task force recommendation. Honorable Speaker, in the nutshell, it is in the petitioner's view, on behalf of the more than 1320 ECD teachers across the 30 wards and 38 assistant educational officers and ECD teachers working diligently in Nandi County, that the County Assembly, through its powers, compelled the executive to implement the scheme of service for the ECD teachers in Nandi County, and that none of the issues in this petition is pending before the court of law, constitutional body, or any other legal body. The legal framework. The enabling legal provision and mandate of the committee is described herein below. The Constitution of Kenya 2010, the Constitution is the parent law governing citizen and institution operation in the county. Chapter 4 of the Constitution of 2010 provides for the Bill of Rights. The provision meant to protect preserve human dignity, and to promote social justice. Article 53 of the Constitution provides for the child right, including free and compulsory basic education. Nandi County Assembly Standing Orders provide for the form and procedure for handling public petition. This guides the House and committee when dealing with petitioners. Part 14 of County Assembly Standing Orders provide for public petition. On committal of petition, Standing Order 205 state that every petition presented or report pursuant to this shall stand committed to the relevant committees, and that whenever a petition is committed to a sectoral committee, the committee shall in or not other than 60 days, calendar days, from the time of reading the prior response of the petitioner by way of a report. Mr. Speaker, we go to the methodology and the approach which the committee undertook this petition. Upon perusal of the petition, the Education Committee derived ways on how to prosecute the petition. The committee adopted three main approaches in dealing with the petition, which include scrutiny of the scheme of service for ECD teachers developed by Council of Governors, scrutiny of documents submitted to the committee by the petitioner, invitation of petitioners to give testimony before the committee, and invitation of senior officers of the Department of Education to provide information. The following documents were failed to the committee for assessment: the petition itself, B, list of petitioners, C, copy of the scheme of service ECT teachers developed by Council of Governors, sample copies of payslips, letter to Kenya County Government Workers Union dated 29 June 2023 requesting the Workers Union intervention. Correspondent by KCGWU from the General Secretary dated 4th April 2024, demanding the implementation of the scheme of service. Letter to County Director, CCM, CO in charge of education, dated July 2024, giving notice holding a peaceful demonstration. The committee invited the following government official for the petitioners and other representative of ECD teachers to provide necessary information, namely CCM in charge of education, Chief of CO in charge of education, Director ECD, Director Vocational Training Centers. The petitioners demanded for fair labor practices and stoppage of discrimination in line with Article 41 of the Constitution of 2010. The petitioners informed the committee that since employment in 2014, no teachers have been promoted or upgraded to higher job groups. The committee added that there were cases of intimidation, blackmail, and frustration of officers from who choose to air their grievances and for speaking their minds. There are teachers who spoke about the challenges and frustration they were going through while discharging their duties were forcefully transferred, intimidated, and frustrated by the senior officers from the department. Some officers were transferred to a place very far away from their places of residence and demoted. A case of an officer who was serving as a ward educational officer was demoted to assistant ward educational officer. The petitioners are for that the localization of some officers were punitive and meant to silence them. Legal counsel of the petitioners implored upon the committee to press implementation. Submission by the county executive officers, that is Ms. Beatrice Chemurgor, that is CEO of Education, Ms. Reni Kirwa, CCM in charge of Education, Mr. To, Director VTC, Mr. Samuel Biwot, Director ECD. The membership interrogated interrogation boarded on the following key issues: county bursary disbursement, petition on implementation of scheme of service for ECT teachers. On the other issues of country, though this is not a major issue today, that is the issue of bursary, which we have dealt with. I'm going straight to the issues pertaining the petitioners. The department testified that identification and profiling of all beneficiaries, that is still on the issue of bursary, but let's go to the petitioners. The department testified that it had prepare data and relevant particulars for the promotion of ECD teachers encompassing diploma, degree, and certificate holders. However, the department informed the committee that it experienced challenges in generating a job group for older members of the staff, for example, those who are older than 57 years. Further, the department informed the committee that there were real challenges trying to retool older teachers to align with the current system of education. The implementation of retooling the teachers and placing them in job groups under permanent and pensionable terms has huge budgetary reformation that the department had inadequate budgetary allocation to implement the scheme of service. On the replacement of ECD teachers and VTC instructors who have exceeded service, department informed the committee that a total of 24 schools do not have ECD teachers, and Nandi County Service Board will be in the best position to explain the process of the replacement. Currently, the county has a total of 113 instructors across the county, and the VTC have increased to 15 to 20. That the VTCs have a shortage of instructors, which will be looked into, ensure quality services, that when opportunities arise of teachers voluntary should be prioritized for employment. Analysis. The committee, the petition itself, the committee sift through the petition and took all the prayers sorted by the petitioners and the grievances thereof. The scheme of service report. The scrutiny of service scheme of service for ECD teachers developed by the Council of Governors. That the aim and objective of the scheme of service was to provide for a well-defined career structure that will attract, motivate, and retain suitable, qualified, and competent early childhood and development education ECD teacher service in the service, to provide well-defined job description and specification with a clear duties, responsibilities at all levels within the career structure, which will ensure proper deployment and utilization of early childhood development and educational teachers, to establish standard recruitment, training, and advance within the career structure on the basis of qualification, knowledge of the job, merit, and ability reflected in work performance and results, to ensure appropriate career planning and succession management. Entry into the scheme. The scheme provides that increment, credits, approval, experience acquired after obtaining prescribed minimum qualification for the grade may be awarded at the rate of 1 increment for each completed year's approved experience, provided a maximum grade within the grade is not exceeded. In awarding increment, that is credit, any period of service or experience stipulated as per the basic requirement of the appointment to particular grade will be excluded. Direct appointment. Direct appointment will normally be made in grade of assistant ECD teachers, that is certificate level, that is job group F, assistant ECD teachers 2, job group G, ECD Teacher 3, Diploma level, Job Group H, and Graduate ECD Teacher, Job Group K, provided that the candidate has the minimum basic qualification prescribed for the grade in the scheme of service. However, in exceptional cases, a direct appointment beyond the grades may be made by County Service Board, provided that the candidate is in possession of the necessary qualification and experience be considered with existing government policy. The grading structure. The scheme of service established 6 grades, that is assistant, that is certificate, diploma, and degree levels. For example, they give there is a table providing how the job groups were designed. First job group is job group F, that is a teacher with certificate. Job group G with a diploma. Job group 1 with a diploma again. Senior assistant, that is job group J with a degree. Senior assistant. Job group K, that is a teacher with a degree. Senior assistant. Job group L, a teacher with a degree. And there are other qualification which were provided by the CCM in charge of education. Honorable Speaker, the CEO informed the committee that the recommendation made by the task force have since been progressively implemented depending on the availability of funds since 2022 to date. That the ECD teachers below 50 years were moved from contract to permanent terms, while 51 to 55 were retained on contract terms. And placed in job groups, whereas the 56 and above years were placed in job groups. Honorable Speaker, the table below indicates summary progressive increment for the period shown. For example, that is certificate holder in the year 2022, before 2022, were earning 10,000. In the year 2022, they earn 12,000. In the year 2022 to 2023, they earn 13,500. In the year 2023-24, they earn 15,500. In the year 2024 to 2025, they should earn 18,650. And in the year 2025-2026, that is by next year, June, they should be earning 22,890. That is the case of diploma, certificate. Diploma, in the year before 2022, they earn 12,000. 2022, they earn 14,000. 2022 to 2023, they earn 15,500. 2023-2024, they earn 17,500. 2024-2025, they should be earning 24,735. Next year, June, they should be earning 32,470. Degree, before 2022, they used to earn 15,000. 2022, they earn 17,000. 2022-2023, they earn 18,500. 2023-2024, they earn 20,500. This year, they are earning 35,285. and by next year, by the scheme of service, they should be earning 50,770. Those were the recommendation by the task force, but it was due to availability of funds. Further, the Department of Education gave an undertaking that in the fiscal year starting 2025-2026, the pre-primary teachers will be placed in their respective job groups as per the academic qualification pursuant to the approved scheme of service. This implies that the teachers will be placed as per the categories shown below. Certificate with job group will go to job group F, diploma job group H, and degree job group K. In addition, the Department of Education has written a letter to the County Public Service Board through the Office of the County Secretary notifying its implementation of scheme of service for the ECT teachers 2025-2026. Honorable Speaker, there are 69 teachers above 56 years from 2023 to date, as per the task force, who need to be placed to job groups in the year ending 2025-2026. It was notable that, as per the Department of Education, 42 ECT teachers and 16 instructors who have exited service through natural attrition since the year 2022 to date and need to be replaced as soon as possible to enhance service delivery. The Department of Education provides several documents for scrutiny listed hereby. Financial implication for the implementation of the scheme of service in July 2025, list of 69 teachers to be placed in the job groups, list of 42 ECT teachers for replacement, list of 16 instructors for replacement. Let me go to committee finding and the recommendation. The committee findings. The committee finding that the petition is legitimate and the prayers are merited. Second, the committee finds that there is an established and approved scheme of service for the ECT teachers developed by the Council of Governors in the year 2021. The committee established that even though the petitioners are aggrieved by the work title accorded to them as the ECD caregivers, members found that there was no ill on the part of the county government. The term ECD caregivers was coined during the initial conception stages of the county government system, and ECD being a default function. The county government, in its wisdom, used the title in other good faith. During the interrogation, the committee established that notable effort had been put in place by the county government and progress had been made in the attempt to implement the scheme of service. The committee established that indeed there has been progressive implementation of the task force report showing how the scheme of service for the ECT teachers shall be implemented. The committee finds the recommendation by the task force report have invaluable insight that will be immense benefit to the pre-primary teachers in their journey towards better remuneration and clear terms of service. The committee noted the scheme of service developed by the Council of Governors lays foundation and standardized and effective teacher professional management, career growth, and effective service delivery in ECD centers countrywide. Analysis of the most current sample payslip provided for the committee for scrutiny revealed that there has been a steady increase and improvement of the pay of the ECD teachers in Nandi County. This was being implemented progressively as and when the funds were available. The committee established that several counties in the Republic of Kenya, such as Turkana, Trans Nzoia, Kakamega, and Kericho, have fully implemented the scheme of service as per the Council of Governors ECD teachers in service scheme of service by the ECD teachers in Kenya. The committee observed that masters graduate in ECD have been left out by the department and in the task force report. Committee recommendation that the Department of Education, in liaison with the Finance and Economic Planning Department, is recommended to implement the task force report recommendation on the implementation of scheme of service for the ECD teachers. That the petitioner's prayer demanding for investigation and inquiry into the reason why the county government of Nandi, member for education, and CC, member for finance, and the county secretary to the Nandi Public Service Board have not implemented the scheme of service is hereby declined. The committee established that the executive had made progress over time in implementing the scheme of service and was able to provide proof on the same to the committee. The petitioner's prayer demanding that the county assembly prepares a report on the inquiry pronouncing the serious breaches of the labor laws, administrative laws, and constitutional violation by the relevant authorities is declined, since no significant pattern breaches were established by the committee. Fourth, the county secretary to notify Nandi County Service Board to strike out the term caregivers in the employment letters of the ECD teachers and replace thereof with ECD teacher. The committee recommends that the County Department of Education establish a complaint register where officers can raise concerns or challenges affecting their work, effective discharge of duties and responsibilities to be shared with the County Human Resource Advisory Committee. The advisory on human resource on other matters pertaining the complaints raised by the staff and education vocational training department shall be shared with transmitted or county assembly by the county secretary on quarterly basis. Number 6, the prayer urging the county assembly to recommend improvement of all ECD teachers' welfare across Nandi is granted, and the committee directs the County Department of Education to work closely with the Nandi County Service Board and ensure improvement of welfare for both the instructors at the vocational training centers and ECD teachers. Number 7, the committee directs the County Department of Education and vocational training to liaise with relevant departments, including the Service Board, the Office of the County Secretary, to consider paying the ward educational officers and assistant ward educational officers responsibility allowance and computer allowance as per the request of the petitioners. Number 8, the committee recommends and directs a stoppage to any form of discrimination by the employer, that is Nandi County government, in terms of payment remuneration of ECD teachers in Nandi County. Number 9, the committee recommends that Nandi County Public Service Board should include holders of master degree in ECD in the implementation of scheme of service, who apparently were omitted by the task force committee. Number 10, the committee recommends Nandi Service Board to establish mechanism and proper channels for addressing staff complaints and provide guidance on staff transfers, redeployment, and protection of staff from any kind of arbitrary, at times forced, transferred by overzealous officers in the Department of Education and Vocational Training Department. We have the annexures, and I hope honorable members, you have been shared. You have the copy in your, it is in the website, even the public can look into it. So therefore, honorable members, I urge this House to pass this report as it is. And I urge Honorable Mosbey to second the report.
Thank you, Honorable Davis. Honorable members, I now put that the House discuss the Education and Vocational Training Committee report on the petition of implementation of scheme of service, remuneration of ECD teachers in Nandi County, and other related issues. Honorable members, the floor is open for debate. Yes, Honorable Korir.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. Honorable Speaker, I wish to, being a member of the Education Committee, to first and foremost thank our able chair and on the good work that we ensure that the same petition is actually thoroughly cascaded and handled. Honorable Speaker, we actually did and thoroughly went through this petition, and we want to appreciate the teachers and the representatives of the teachers who've actually found time, and they have always been here to ensure that they are fighting for their rights and teachers. I do want to also appreciate the executive headed by the Line Department and Finance Department, because in our findings, as it has been stated by our able chair, is that the Department of Finance has actually ensured that they have tried to comply in the agreement and the scheme of service. It is our pleasure to ensure that our teachers are well remunerated and their welfare is well taken care of. We want to now urge, as a legislative arm, Honorable Speaker, that the executive arm is able to implement the final stage to ensure that in this coming financial year, our teachers are actually going to get their share, to ensure that at the end of the day, they are well remunerated as per the scheme of service. And I know this is going to go a long way to ensure that our teachers are happy and ensure that they are going to do a quality job. It is very important and very vital, and as I plead upon our colleagues or this House to adopt this petition, is that we must ensure that the executive are to the latter going to implement the scheme of service as it is being agreed by the all stakeholders that participated through. Otherwise, I want to appreciate the good work done by the committee and to appreciate our able chair to ensure that the report has been done and dispensed of. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Korir. Honorable Majority Whip.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, mine is just to echo what our chair budget has just said, and also allowed the committee's work that has been done. Actually, Honorable Speaker, our teachers, ECD teachers, deserve to be treated better. As you know, it is very tedious to shape one's life for one to be able to read through content in various languages that our ECD teachers try to instill in our pupils. So mine is to commend the committee on the good recommendations and the scheme of service that has been read to us, I think they deserve to be treated better. And I urge the executive to embrace this report, Honorable Speaker. I beg to support.
Honorable Alana.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, it goes without saying that indeed I think it's time that we actually encourage our teachers, the ECD teachers. I remember, Mr. Speaker, that we had, I think it was the same. We had a motion, we've had a motion here, Mr. Speaker, deliberating on the issues of the ECD teachers. And I think it's due for actually this process to begin. The committee, of course, we can't go without saying, without commending you for a well done job. And Mr. Speaker, I want to believe that once and for all, we are dealing with this issue once and for all. Because for quite some time, Mr. Speaker, the ECD teachers have been up in arms to do with their welfare, I mean their remunerations. In all the spheres of welfare, Mr. Speaker, the ECD teachers have been left backward. Even in consideration, Mr. Speaker, to other counties, how they remunerate their ECD teachers, Mr. Speaker, of course it is a fact that we've been far away. And I want to believe that the committee, this house generally, will do their good job and make sure that those people are rewarded properly. Thank you so much, and I stand to support this motion. Thank you.
Honorable members, taking into account the weighty issue addressed in the report, the House Business Committee scheduled the deliberation of this matter for this morning, for the morning session and the afternoon session. I therefore, pursuant to Standing Order 1, direct that the deliberation on the subject matter shall record 30 minutes, notwithstanding Standing Order 204, and the same item will appear in the afternoon session. This is to accord the representatives an opportunity. This is to accord all the members an opportunity, or the representative of the people, to give their comments with the report to give their comments with the report to
Order number 5, papers.
next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Next order.
Order number 8, adjournment.
Honorable members, there being no other business on the order paper, the House stands adjourned until 2:30.